3 types of neighbors to avoid after 70. Shitty neighbors ruin everything. Growing older is a time to savor peace, stability, and comfort, ideally surrounded by people who bring positivity and respect into our lives. But a single problematic neighbor can erode the peace we seek, creating stress and frustration. For people aged 70 and above, having a comfortable living environment isn't just a luxury. It's essential. It's a place where we feel safe and where our daily routines can unfold without unnecessary disturbances. Unfortunately, not everyone has a respectful approach to neighborhood living, and certain types of neighbors can disrupt the harmony we need to enjoy life. This article will highlight the types of neighbors to be cautious of after age 70, so you can take steps to protect your well-being and peace of mind. By knowing the warning signs, you can set boundaries early, or even decide if moving to a different neighborhood might be a good choice. Let's dive into the 3 types of neighbors to avoid and how each can affect your quality of life. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. The nosy neighbor. As we reach our later years, home becomes more than just a residence. It's a sanctuary, a place where we're free to be ourselves without the world's eyes on us. It's where we shape our days around a rhythm that brings us peace, comfort, and familiarity. We surround ourselves with memories, and we cherish the tranquility that comes from having a space where we don't have to answer to anyone. Yet when a nosy neighbor enters the picture, that sanctuary can begin to feel like it's under surveillance, with someone else's curiosity intruding on our comfort and peace. At first, a nosy neighbor's behavior may seem harmless or even caring. They might stop by to check in on us, bring over baked goods, or make small talk about the weather or the latest neighborhood happenings. This initial friendliness can be a welcome sign of community, especially if we're looking for friendly faces nearby. But over time, a nosy neighbor can become increasingly intrusive, shifting from small talk to personal questions that feel invasive. What begins as a friendly chat about the garden can quickly escalate to probing questions about our health, visitors, or our daily routines. Their concern may gradually evolve into a sense of entitlement to know the intimate details of our lives. A nosy neighbor can create an atmosphere that feels subtly oppressive. The knowledge that someone is watching who visits, observing when we leave and return, and commenting on our daily activities can lead to feelings of vulnerability. The sense of privacy we worked hard to cultivate can feel stripped away by a single person's insistent curiosity. Privacy isn't just about keeping secrets. It's about controlling how much of ourselves we choose to share with others. When a neighbor intrudes on this privacy, it's easy to feel as though the boundaries we rely on have been compromised, creating a tension that affects how freely we move within our own space. This kind of neighbor often has habits that, while seemingly minor, can begin to wear on one's peace of mind. For instance, they might be the type who's constantly at the window, subtly monitoring the neighborhood. Perhaps they're outside gardening, or tidying up only when you have visitors, taking note of who stops by and how long they stay. Nosy neighbors might also go out of their way to, coincidentally, bump into us while we're out checking the mail or tending to our plants. using these encounters to ask questions that can feel more like an interrogation than a friendly chat. Even simple questions can feel intrusive when they cross an unspoken boundary, such as, "Who was that young man visiting yesterday?" Or, "I noticed you had a lot of packages delivered, doing some redecorating?" Beyond mere observation, nosy neighbors often indulge in gossip, freely sharing what they've learned or noticed about us with other community members. In their mind, they may see this as a way of staying connected, but for those on the receiving end, it can be disheartening. We may find ourselves the subject of rumors or assumptions we never wanted or asked for. Even harmless pieces of information can become twisted or exaggerated, creating narratives about our lives that are inaccurate, embarrassing, or even hurtful. This form of gossip can ripple through a community, affecting how other neighbors perceive us, and sometimes leading to social discomfort or tension that wasn't there before. There's a particular sting in realizing that a simple act, like having a family member visit or ordering a few items online, has become neighborhood chatter. Handling a nosy neighbor takes a certain level of delicacy. On one hand, we may wish to keep things cordial, as maintaining friendly relationships in the neighborhood can be beneficial. However, it's equally important to set boundaries that protect our privacy and maintain our comfort in our own space. Sometimes, a simple shift in how we communicate can make a difference. Responding to questions with friendly, yet vague answers allows us to maintain the social connection without opening the door to prying. For example, if asked about a visitor, a polite, "just family stopping by," can be enough to satisfy curiosity without providing the specifics they might be fishing for. At times, setting physical boundaries can also provide much-needed relief. This can be as simple as adjusting window treatments to reduce visibility into your home, or placing a privacy screen or fencing around areas where you spend a lot of time. Small changes to landscaping, like planting hedges or positioning potted plants, can also add a layer of separation that keeps prying eyes at a comfortable distance. For those who live in apartment complexes or shared buildings, choosing strategic seating arrangements or adjusting how you enter and exit can make it less likely to bump into the nosy neighbor during those routine moments. It's worth noting that nosy behavior often stems from a combination of boredom and a lack of awareness about personal boundaries. Many people don't realize when their interest in others crosses a line, especially if they're genuinely trying to be friendly. For neighbors like this, a gentle approach might work well. However, if the intrusiveness persists, it may be helpful to practice more assertive boundary setting. Politely but firmly communicating that certain questions or topics are off limits can create clarity for both parties. For example, if a neighbor repeatedly inquires about your health, a polite, "I appreciate your concern, but I prefer to keep some things private," can be a clear but respectful way of closing the topic. The most important thing is to remember that our comfort, peace, and sense of control over our own lives are worth protecting. The home we've created for ourselves should be a place where we feel entirely at ease, free from unnecessary scrutiny or pressure to share parts of ourselves we'd rather keep private. By drawing both social and physical boundaries, we can preserve the quiet dignity of our space and our routines, allowing us to live as we choose, with only the company we select. With the right balance of politeness and firmness, it's possible to maintain civility without sacrificing privacy. In our later years, privacy becomes even more precious. It's a gift we give ourselves, a way of maintaining a sense of control and independence. Our homes should be places where we feel free to live on our terms, unburdened by the curiosity of others. By carefully managing interactions and creating subtle physical barriers, we can keep the nosy neighbor at a respectful distance, allowing us to fully enjoy the peace and autonomy we deserve. 2. The loud or disruptive neighbor. As we age, the value of peace and quiet in our home environment becomes increasingly important. Our later years should ideally be filled with restful mornings, calm afternoons, and undisturbed nights, a rhythm that contributes to both physical well-being and mental tranquility. Yet when a loud or disruptive neighbor enters the picture, that carefully cultivated peace can be quickly shattered, turning what should be a haven of relaxation into a source of stress and frustration. Loud neighbors can bring an overwhelming amount of noise into the neighborhood, from late-night parties and blasting music to barking dogs and boisterous gatherings. While young or busy families may thrive in environments bustling with activity, many older adults seek a quieter lifestyle. Disruptive neighbors often do not share this mindset, frequently ignoring the noise limits that make communal living pleasant for everyone involved. For those over 70, this constant barrage of sound can be more than just an inconvenience. It can become a serious detriment to quality of life. Noise pollution isn't merely an annoyance. Studies have shown that excessive noise can significantly impact health, leading to increased levels of stress, anxiety, and even sleep disturbances. For older adults, sleep is particularly crucial for maintaining cognitive function, immune health, and emotional well-being. A loud neighbor who disrupts this fundamental aspect of life can affect more than just a good night's sleep. They can undermine the stability of our daily routines, leaving us feeling unsettled, tired, and even more susceptible to health issues. For older adults, constant exposure to noise isn't just a source of frustration. It can also have lasting physical and mental impacts. Chronic noise can elevate stress hormones like cortisol, contributing to higher blood pressure, which increases the risk of heart-related issues over time. It can disrupt concentration and cognitive processes, making it harder to stay focused on daily tasks or enjoy quiet activities like reading or meditation. A loud neighbor's impact can spill over into our relationships too. The frustration they create might make us more irritable or less inclined to interact with others. Addressing a loud or disruptive neighbor requires a combination of tact, patience, and practical solutions. First, try having an honest, friendly conversation with your neighbor. They might not be aware of the extent to which their noise affects you. Sometimes, calmly explaining how their behavior impacts your quality of life can lead to positive changes. A friendly but firm approach can go a long way toward maintaining a cordial relationship while addressing the issue. If a conversation doesn't resolve the problem, look into practical solutions within your living space. Soundproofing measures, like installing heavy curtains, using rugs, or even placing sound-absorbing panels, can help reduce the level of noise that enters your home. Creating a designated quiet space in your home where you can retreat to when the noise becomes overwhelming may also offer relief. White noise machines or soft music can help mask disruptive sounds and create a more peaceful environment. In some cases, you may need to seek outside help if the noise persists and remains disruptive. Many neighborhoods and residential communities have noise ordinances or guidelines that set quiet hours or acceptable noise levels. If your neighbor consistently breaks these rules, it might be worth discussing the issue with a property manager or homeowners association, HOA. Documenting instances of excessive noise, noting dates, times, and specific disturbances can provide useful information if you need to take further action. In our later years, a peaceful home environment becomes a valuable sanctuary, helping to maintain mental and physical health. By taking steps to address noise issues, either through friendly dialogue, soundproofing, or official channels, we can work toward preserving the tranquility we deserve. 3. The neglectful neighbor. A neighborhood's appearance and upkeep play a significant role in creating a positive and welcoming environment. For older adults, a well-maintained neighborhood can bring a sense of pride, security, and aesthetic enjoyment. But a neglectful neighbor, someone who fails to maintain their property, allows clutter to accumulate, or ignores essential repairs, can disrupt this harmony. Overgrown lawns, broken fences, and piles of clutter not only create an eyesore, but can also attract pests, affect property values, and contribute to a general feeling of decline in the area. The impact of a neglectful neighbor extends beyond aesthetics. A property left in disrepair can create safety hazards. For example, broken walkways, loose fencing, or unattended yard debris can pose risks, especially if you or other neighbors need to walk by these areas. Neglected properties can also attract unwanted animals or pests, leading to concerns about infestations that could spread to neighboring homes. Addressing this issue tactfully is essential, as it can be a sensitive topic. First, try approaching your neighbor kindly and offering assistance if it seems appropriate. Sometimes neglect arises from personal circumstances like financial strain, health issues, or mobility limitations. Offering to help organize a neighborhood cleanup day or suggesting affordable services may encourage them to take action without feeling judged. If personal conversation doesn't lead to improvement, many communities have local ordinances regarding property upkeep. Reporting persistent issues to local authorities may prompt action, although this should generally be a last resort, as it can strain neighborhood relationships. Maintaining the value, safety, and visual appeal of your neighborhood is especially important as we age. Addressing neglectful neighbors with patience and understanding, while also exploring community resources, can help ensure that your living environment remains comfortable and inviting. In conclusion, navigating life after 70 brings a renewed appreciation for peace, privacy, and stability in our homes and communities. While we may not have control over all aspects of our neighborhoods, we do have the power to set boundaries, protect our personal space, and address issues thoughtfully. Ultimately, protecting our home environment as we age is about more than simply managing day-to-day inconveniences. It's about fostering a life of comfort, security, and well-being. As we grow older, our homes should serve as sanctuaries that support our mental clarity, physical health, and emotional peace. With age often comes wisdom, and this wisdom allows us to navigate challenges with discernment and grace. By thoughtfully addressing difficult neighbors, we can reinforce the sense of tranquility and pride we feel within our communities. It's essential to remember that establishing boundaries doesn't mean closing ourselves off from others. Rather, it's about creating a healthy balance between connection and personal privacy. Many neighbors will respect these boundaries when communicated kindly and directly. Building mutual respect within the community can lead to supportive relationships that benefit everyone. For example, neighbors who understand and appreciate each other's needs are often more likely to check in during times of need, offer help during emergencies, or simply be a positive presence in each other's lives. If we encounter neighbors who are persistently disruptive or intrusive, we don't have to tolerate situations that bring us stress. Exploring solutions like soundproofing, landscaping for added privacy, or leveraging local ordinances can help us manage challenging interactions while still enjoying our space. When setting boundaries, maintaining a balance of friendliness and firmness can often prevent small issues from becoming major disruptions, preserving our comfort and dignity in the process. In our later years, creating a peaceful living space is a powerful act of self-care. The way we manage our environment and our interactions reflects our values and supports the quality of life we wish to maintain. A peaceful home allows us to thrive, providing the calm we need to focus on what matters most, from spending quality time with family to pursuing hobbies and personal growth. As we continue this journey, we can remember that each step we take toward cultivating a tranquil, respectful living space is an investment in our happiness and well-being. Our homes are extensions of ourselves, and by honoring and protecting these spaces, we foster a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Here's to living in peace, creating connections that enrich our lives, and setting the boundaries that empower us to live fully on our own terms.